Hey, it's Natalie with the Think Stuff Academy for the tip of the day. We're talking about self-care. So welcome, it's a two-part series. Self-care is amazing. Let me tell you, I have been the queen of self-care lately. Oh yeah. So you know what I do for a living. I'm a speaker. I travel a lot. I get to speaking engagement. There was a lot of virtual speaking engagement during the pandemic. Everything is getting back to in person now, which is great. It brings me back to be on the road, and my perception of things have changed during the pandemic. I am very much aware that I can no longer do what I was doing during the pandemic. I would work on the road all the time, in the airport, go to my speaking engagement, and I would be checking emails in between seeing my client, or right before I'm about to get on the stage, I'm texting or getting in contact with somebody else that wants my services. And now I am the queen of self-care. So at the airport, yes, I'm on my computer. However, I am rehearsing, getting ready for the speaking engagement that I'm going to. And just so you know, the world of travel has changed. The airlines are not as reliable. So because flights get canceled, I can no longer leave the day before. I used to maybe fly just before the speaking engagement, but now I need to leave 2 days early. So if my flight gets canceled, then I still have another day to get there, which happens quite a bit. So I'm happy to have this buffer. So I get there a day early and I'm not working. I'm not doing my emails. I am solely focused on what I'm there to do. And I rehearse, I practice. I have a very good night's sleep. I eat well. I do so much self-care. On the speaking day, oh, well, I'm 100% focused to my clients. I'm not going to do emails or texting while I'm at my speaking engagement. And after, when I go to my room, I do my follow-up from that speaking engagement, and I'm not still doing emails or other things. The day after, I'm on my way back home. Well, I feel like a superhero. I just got a standing ovation. So, hey, I'm not going to work now. Look at me. I'm going to watch movies in the aircraft and take it easy. And when I get home, well, I can celebrate. So I haven't seen my husband for 3 days. So we're going to go out. And then I realize, oh, I've been gone for 4 days. And now I'm only here for a couple of days, and I'm leaving again on Tuesday. So when is my work going to get done? And then I start panicking. So that is when you go to the other end of self-care and you do too much of it. So I will tell you in this first part, why is self-care important, what it does to your brain, and what areas of your brain are affected by self-care. So let's start with the gray matter and the white matter. The gray matter, this is all part of your prefrontal cortex, right? So that gray matter processes your sensation, the perception, it's your movements, it decides what you do. Yeah. So it's your speaking, the way that you can learn. Everything that is cognitive takes place in the gray area of the brain, like the outskirts, let's say, of the prefrontal cortex. The white matter is that connection between all the gray areas and your body. So while the gray matter is actually cell bodies, like neurons, the white part is more axon. So it's like the connection with the spinal cords and the body reaction to all of that. So all the information that you have, that you capture, that you're able to learn, that you speak, all of that information gets transmitted to your white matter. So how is that connected? How does self-care impacts these areas of the brain? The beauty when you do self-care, when you take care of yourself, when you listen to your body, when you're nice to yourself, and then you focus on one thing, that mindfulness, that being present will result in a thicker gray matter. Ooh, this is cool. Because with a thicker gray matter, what happens is that you can be a better problem solver. You could be better able to regulate your emotions. So you're less likely to panic, to get stressed, or to let stress affect you or other things that are going on. So a thicker gray matter in your prefrontal cortex means that you can process faster, you can learn faster, you can regulate your emotion. So it's all great news. The other area that is affected by self-care, when you take care of yourself, is the hippocampus. So the hippocampus, and no, I'm not talking about a hypo at university on a campus. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a little area in your prefrontal cortex. So it's right, not prefrontal, but in the center cortex. That is that long-term memory and the memory retrieval. So that means that's where your information gets stored, and that's where you go to access all that information, all your memories. So when you do self-care, the beauty of spending time with friends, just like when I do speaking engagement in the province of Quebec, I take advantage of it to see my family. Yes, I potentially should say, oh no, I should just stay in my hotel room and work and catch up on emails. But no, I think, well, wait a minute, I'm there anyway. Might as well spend some time with my loved ones that I don't see very often. So when you do that, when you are spending time with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, that hippocampus may also become thicker. This is great. So it leads to benefits regarding your memory and your learning as well. And when you're better at remembering and at learning, that's great news. And I'm not talking about new neurons in the brain. We're not creating new neurons, but we're creating better connections between all these neurons that already exist. It's plasticity or neuroplasticity. So when you do self-care, your neuroplasticity becomes better. You have more ways of connecting all areas of your brain. Therefore, you're more resourceful. So remember, self-care has lots of benefits. A thicker gray, a thicker gray matter, and potentially a thicker hippocampus as well. So enjoy this. In part 2, we will be looking at when potentially self-care may not be a good thing, when there's too much of it, just like in my story, that you see that there's a problem there, because when I come back from my speaking engagement, I tend to panic, and all of a sudden I have so much accumulated. And after 3 or 4 weeks of that, let me tell you that things are piling up and I have to readjust what I'm doing. So this is what's up for next section, the next segment of the self-care series. We will learn what to do in order for not having too much self-care, and what happens in the brain, what makes us panic when we do too much self-care. I will see you there.